You're listening to the Evolving Truths podcast, featuring mother-daughter hosts Shannon and Alexus Rae, where honest and vulnerable conversations about personal growth create a connection between all of us. You're invited to experience the transformation that occurs when we allow the truth of who we are to evolve.
Hello, you beautiful heart and soul. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Alexus Rae, and I am one of your hosts for Evolving Truths. With me, as always, is my mama, Shannon Day. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Alexis.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. Had my MRI today. It went really well. Just focused on my breathing, and it went so fast. They all complimented me like, wow, that was great. Good to know I'm an excellent MRI brain person.
Skill. Add that.
Yeah, for real.
Life skill. Check.
We'll put that on my resume. What are you good at? I'm good at sitting in an MRI machine. So that was the biggest thing of my day. I still have tension in the front of my face, I think from my vision, which tends to be what has been messed up the most when it comes to this migraine and recovering from the car accident. I've had a few not good days this week.
Yeah.
And that's hard, especially because last week I felt like I had 3 or 4 days in a row that were pretty good. And so then this week when it was a half good day, not such a good day, half good day, not such a good day, that wears me out mentally and emotionally.
It's a lot of adjusting.
It is. It's so hard because I don't know what each day is going to be like. So it's kind of like waking up every day and just deciding what's going to get done or not get done based on how I feel. And then that lends itself to a whole other slew of internal conversations about, am I making this up because I can't see it? Am I telling myself that I don't feel well? It's hard to trust yourself when it's like an invisible injury. And all I can base it on is my experiences in the past. But I guess I could say never. I never expected that my quote unquote platform would end up being so much about the migraine and the concussions and brain health and taking care of yourself or anything like that. But I have come to realize that that's just a massive part of my story. And for right now, that's a big chunk of it. And I'm still just living through it.
Yeah. I'm proud of you. I do think you're doing a good job adjusting. You're also modeling really well what you talk about and share with people when you're coaching, when it comes to having conversations with yourself, evaluating where you're at with things and answering that as honestly as you can, and then doing what you need to do, both proactively as well as responding to what comes up. A lot of what you're doing to work through this are things that we have to do in other areas of our life.
Yeah, I think it's applicable. Enough about those hardships. We are wrapping up season 1 of Evolving Truths. I won't lie, I can't even believe it.
Yeah. I share with people that my daughter said to me, hey, Mom, I'd like to do this podcast with you and let's just talk about things. I know I can't be the only one thinking about them. And I was like, okay, Lex, sure, that sounds fun. And then one day a microphone showed up at my house and I was like, oh, she was serious. I've learned some things when it comes to podcasting and how things work. That's been fun, learning something new and growing in that space. It's been great having these conversations with you. We had 2 guests this year, one that we had planned, our friend Caitlin, in a really fun episode talking about bees. And then not so planned, your good friend Carly, when we were talking about turning 30. So that was really fun. I also never expected that.
So basically, I just laid out this whole project for you and was like, here, grab my hand. I'm going to bring you on this wild roller coaster ride. And now 4.5 months later, we're wrapping up season 1.
You've been determined since you were a young child, kind of all or nothing.
Say that all or nothing as we gear up and continue to prepare for what's coming in 2023. Strap your seatbelts up because it's going to be awesome, but also it's all or nothing.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. But before we talk about season 2 and what's coming up, let's talk about this season and what we've enjoyed about it. I'll start. I'm going to start with pretty much what I just said about how this all started thus far has been one of my favorite things. And it's been really fun. I've loved doing this with you and growing and learning from this experience. How about you?
The learning aspect has been amazing. I mean, we have learned so many things, and it's just fun to learn something new. When I talk to people about my career, I hang my hat on the mantra, if I don't know it, I'll learn it. This has just been such a fun door to open. Learning all of these things has given me life, and there have been days that we've both shown up committed, and we, have had other things that we could have been doing, or times that we didn't feel good, especially for me, like health-wise has just been an ongoing challenge. The fact that we kept showing up and said that we were going to do it and just stayed determined and dedicated means so much to me, from the perspective of like the type of person I want to be in the world. When we start to get that way in one area of our life, it bleeds into other areas of our lives. Prior to this migraine spell, it really was bleeding over into my health, nutrition, my work habits. Like, I felt like I was firing on all cylinders, and I definitely see starting the podcast as a catalyst to that.
Yes. I mean, I started to floss consistently.
I know. How amazing.
From doing this podcast. It probably even contributed some to completing my 55K, because I felt like, yes, my friends knew I was going to do it, but I had stated it here. And while I don't know everyone who's with us personally, it definitely was extra motivation, which again speaks to the power of community. Even when we're connecting in this way on this platform, of having conversations and people listening to them and commenting or sending us messages, that's still a way to connect. And I love that. I am super grateful to be a part of it.
That makes me even more excited for season 2 to think about how much more we have to learn and grow and different avenues to explore. Like, wow, this is cool. Our little baby evolving truths tree is growing and evolving, and
Yes.
it makes me so excited. As you mentioned comments, so far this year, we've gotten some reviews. Has there been any that stuck out specifically for you?
Yeah, there was one. We had an episode and you were talking about perfectionism, trying to be perfect with something. And I said, no one's perfect. And then I was like, wait, except you're perfect. We had someone in the community who commented and talked about our dynamic and watching our relationship grow. And then they said, I try not to offer unsolicited advice, but couldn't help but share an observation that I had in episode 7. Alexus stated she's working to overcome the perfectionist identity. And then the very next line, Shannon said, nothing is perfect, but said that Alexus is perfect as a correction, reaffirming the subconscious and conscious need to be perfect. Words are powerful, and that moment makes it tough on Alexis' subconscious to fight that fight against having to be perfect. Coming from a recovering perfectionist, haha. Being open to that and recognizing this community is bigger than you and I. And we think a lot about the impact of our words. You and I have worked on that in our relationship and things that we say or how we say them. And it's true in this community and other communities that we're in as well. So I really appreciated that someone took the time to be so thoughtful in the way that they stated that. Their comment was that it's your subconscious, if that still keeps that little seed planted that you've struggled with for so long and still sometimes daily have to fight. Yes, I absolutely want to be aware of that.
I appreciate that they were brave enough to write that. I think that was courageous. From a neuroscience perspective, our subconscious mind runs about 95% of us. So it's one thing when we say, oh, I received your pure intention, sure, but how we digest that internally in that other side, like it's spot on. And both you and I this year have worked so hard on reprogramming that subconscious mind and giving attention to it. I was grateful. I wouldn't have said that or even have known to say it. It forced us to stretch. Some other amazing feedback that we have received this year has been so encouraging, really loving, and I honestly feel like it's been reflective of our true intention, which it's nice when you're putting it out there and the feedback that you receive seems to match. Quote, I freaking love the podcast. I listened to 5 episodes yesterday. It's so good. It definitely resonates and is so much fun listening to you and your mom. You two are amazing and have so much wisdom. I really look forward to more.
Oh,
how cool is that?
That's very cool.
This has been one of the bravest things to do. We are recording our private-ish conversations and putting them into the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's been one of the challenges for me is just facing vulnerability head on, especially because in life, I haven't always felt like I could live my emotional voice out loud. So to be sharing all of these things with people about the way my brain works or the way I see things or the way I see the world and sharing more stories about my life, there have been days that I'm like, oh, shoot, I don't know how I feel about saying that, or should we include that, or should we post that? And just having the bravery to send it.
It's coming back to this place of we know we're not the only ones who feel this way. And we also aren't like, I'm not famous. You're not famous. We can joke and say yet.
Sure.
Right. But like
we're ordinary.
Yes. And while it's fun to listen to others that we see on bigger platforms talk about some of these things, just being able to have these conversations in this space and with those in this community and providing space for these conversations that are hard. Sometimes being able to listen to someone else talk about it and then go, oh, I relate to that, or, oh, I hadn't thought about that. I've had moments like that throughout these conversations as well.
I still can't believe we're wrapping up season 1. I'm like going to squeal all over again.
Is there anything, areas for improvement, things that haven't gone as we thought they would or hoped they would?
Definitely. I mean, migraine spell completely interrupted our entire process and it made it more difficult to post consistently. We had to reevaluate editing and our whole process with that. And we're still dialing in what that's going to look like. So flexibility has been the name of the game. But I feel like as a recovering perfectionist who has a strong type A personality, I am really proud of myself for the fact that I've just been like, you know what? If it's not going to happen this week, it's not going to happen this week. Like, we don't have to be killing ourselves here. It's going to get done. We're in season 1. We know that the plan is for this to be something long term. And it's going to look exactly how it's supposed to look. How about for you? What's been the most challenging besides showing up?
I feel like what do you mean besides showing up? I show up.
No, totally. You 100% show up, but I just mean like besides the fact that your daughter has put you on a podcast now, like besides that challenge.
Yeah. Listening to yourself on recording,
Mm.
or I guess I should say listening to myself. As soon as I got out of school, I apparently just stopped being able to speak the English language properly.
Okay, wait, I have to stop you right there because it has been a slow decline in the way that you speak. It didn't start as soon as you came out of school because I remember when I was young, you had the English language down.
I think it's texting. I'm going to blame it on texting.
No.
Yep.
No way.
Yep. I'm standing on that. I'm going to blame it on texting. So, yes. Listen, just listening to myself in general. So, yeah, that's something that I've learned from this.
What's been your favorite part?
I love just getting to hang out with you and spend time with you and watch you grow through this process. See something that you had as a vision come to fruition, and then getting to be a part of it as well as supportive of it. And hopefully we continue to see it grow. How about you?
Well, that was my favorite part too, because I had told you that I wanted to start this podcast and I had asked you to be my co-host. We had gotten used to spending a lot of time together during my recovery from the car accident in July of 2021. You were driving me to appointments weekly, sometimes multiple times a week, and we hadn't spent that much time together in a long time.
Since you were a child.
I mean, a teenager for sure. And so we had gotten used to that. I was loving it. Obviously, I was facing really hard things, but that time with you was so fun. And I'm so grateful for it. And after having such a good routine, I needed something that we would both like be accountable to that was frequent enough that it felt like we weren't going to lose that connection that we had just built. And so that has been one of my favorite parts. My secret plan worked.
This is definitely more fun than going to doctor's appointments.
Totally.
We've just really appreciated feedback from individuals. We are appreciative of our friends and family that are supportive and have joined this community. We appreciate the support, and we're going to do what we can to continue to grow Evolving Truths, to improve ourselves as humans, to provide something that all of you that are here with us will continue to enjoy listening to and to want to share with others. So as we think about that, Lex, do you want to give a little bit about what we're thinking of for 2023 and some things to look forward to?
Yes. Okay, so a couple of nuggets. We are moving forward with deep intentionality and the ultimate goal of adding value. Time is the most precious resource on this earth. So please know that in the coming seasons and everything that we continue to plan for Evolving Truths, it is from our heart of hearts with the intention of adding value to your life so that the moments that you spend listening to these podcasts and having follow-up conversations with people is to add something to your life. And I think that that's the biggest mission to announce going forward. If it wasn't clear already, we can just call it out there. But some super fun things that are coming are monthly Evolving Truths community calls. We're going to be hosting them once a month in 2023, probably starting in April. It'll be a series of topics bringing value through personal development, focused on making each and every one of us the best versions of ourselves, from the smallest details of flossing and taking care of your daily habits to setting monstrous goals like opening a new business, running a 55K, or pursuing your dreams. We will continue to talk about all of it, any and all of it. We also have the goal of hosting 4 30-day challenges in the year of 2023. I'm super excited about that because the Dirty 30 movement challenge this year in September kept me going for so many reasons. It was super fun. We met new people. People had great feedback from that also. Like, hey, I know I haven't posted every day, but I'm still getting my movement in. Or, hey, I didn't get my movement in today, but I was thinking about it and I know I'll be back at it tomorrow. That challenge accomplished, I think, everything that I was hoping. So I'm so excited to host more of those in 2023. The last thing is we will be coming to video in 2023. Mom paused there. Are you frozen?
I think about the microphone showing up at my front door and now having to be prepared to be on video. But okay, again, growth,
Yeah, girl.
stretching.
We got this.
We are looking forward to having more guests.
The guest lineup for season 2 is bomb.com. And I can't even wait. Season 2 will drop in January. So make sure you turn on the notifications to the podcast wherever you are listening. We will make sure we give you plenty of notice for the day that it drops and what our schedule is going to look like. So hold on to your hairpins, friends, because it's about to get windy. That was terrible. But it was funny.
That was really funny. I like it. I don't know that we're going to use it, but that was funny.
I feel like we should use it because we're both laughing. Mom, is there anything else? Like when we just think back to like season 1, it still blows my mind.
It does feel a little bit crazy. Not something I ever thought that I would be able to say I did or participated in.
Did you have a favorite episode?
Oh, Well, episode 7, Commitment is a Choice, is the one that someone in our community called me out on. So I appreciate that.
But is that your favorite?
I enjoyed doing the inspired ones
Mm-hmm.
where we talked about individuals that inspire us. I thought those were cool. I loved all of our conversations about habit and commitment as a choice. Through a lot of those conversations, I've really done some shifting in my life and things that I'm doing. The episode when we had Caitlin, I thought was really fun because
hold up here. I asked for one favorite episode and you're listing off 3 and we don't have that many episodes yet to pick from. And you're like, I got to be able to say my favorite too, Mom.
Okay. So Alexus, do you have a favorite episode?
The B episode.
With our good friend Caitlin.
Yes. Also, though, I loved getting to record with Carly for the Talk 30 to me, and having that conversation with you and her in the corner studio was so authentic, just genuine. That day meant a lot to me also. But I loved the B conversation because, kind of like what you said earlier, all of this has been coming out of a vision or an idea, a spark in my mind, a desire in my heart to speak these truths into the world. And the B episode was so cool because I feel like I've learned things about nature and human nature, and to have it blend together in that conversation of like just innately knowing something about how systems work, and then to have a good friend who knows about a specific species on this planet, i.e. bees, to kind of be able to reflect some of that science back to me was awesome.
All in all, I think it's been a lot of fun. We hope that you have enjoyed it like Alexus and I have, and have taken out of this 1 or 2 things and are starting to know that this space is here for you.
And until next time, remember to rate the show, follow us wherever you're listening, put this thing on repeat because it's gold, and send it to somebody who you love and want to have a conversation with. All because Mom and I are totally your cup of ordinary tea, and we will be back in season 2. But until then, please remember that life is beautiful and you create the magic. Have a good one.
Connect with Shannon and Alexus in the Evolving Truths community by visiting evolvingtruthspodcast.com. Links are in the show notes. The artwork for this project was created by Julie B. Salazar and is entitled Celebration from the Inner Landscape print series. The Evolving Truths podcast is produced and edited by Shannon Day and Alexus Rae, recorded from the Corner Studio in conjunction with Alexus Rae Enterprises, LLC.